back to Get Going Fast. Now watch this. We're going to do some magic here that I had previously up to this moment just realized I hadn't done. Watch this. I'm gonna do a magic spell here for you. Ready? 1, 2. Oh, that wasn't quite the spell I was thinking. Let's try this one. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Hey, look at that. My magic's a little bit off this morning. So glad to see you all, though. Happy to see you. If you are here, be sure to say yo so that I know you're there so I can call you out. We got our Blue Hat members out there somewhere, I know. Always want to say hi to you guys. So be sure to pop in. What is this? We got an engage with audience button here that just popped up. It says, look, they added a new thing. Members only live streams. So that means we could do something here in the future where only the members, only the hardcore committed ones get to go. Oh, I just realized my microphone was down. You should suddenly hear a change in my volume. All right, so we're here. Looks like we're streaming. We got some people popping in. We got 3 people up here. Wow, the wacky races have started. BGG starts up and goes, yo, Gary Cowboy. And I'm like, yo, what's up, BGG? Good to see you. 9 is here, of course. Blue Hat Fellows, we'll give him one of these. Good to see you, 9. 9, by the way, put out his new video, which was quite good. Brought a tear to the eye. It was so good that even the fish were weeping, right? It was so good. So 9, be sure to share your video link, and we will take a look at that today. 9's a great guy for you guys to follow. He has been consistently putting out stuff. He's going for it. He's got his YouTube channel. He's up to 50 or 70 subscribers now. I was there like a year ago, okay? I know what it's like, and you know, you keep pushing through, you just put stuff out, and eventually you're going to get monetized, and then you're going to find out that you really don't make any money even when you're monetized, and but you just keep pushing forward, and it really is the start of that. So good job, 9. Point is here. Point, what's up, dude? We're actually going to be talking about some apps that Point made. Point is great because he's really making stuff. He's actually making apps, and so we're actually going to look at one of his transcription apps. In fact, Point, I was working with an app of his today called SharkBit. I could probably run that up here. So I want to talk with him a little bit about that. Great app for cropping your videos, okay? Maybe we could actually just even throw that in here today, even though it's not part of really what we're doing today. And I can give you a look at that. Great app. Some small issues I want to talk with SharkBit, or with Point about that. So hit me up later on that good stuff. All of these, of course, available over on the Get Going Fast. I believe they're for free or for the Farmham members. But yeah, good to see you, BGG. Good to see you as well, mate. So do that. We got, again, the wacky races as usual. Let's pull up this thing. Silly little thing that we do. The wacky races character. The way that this thing handles top viewer is really funny, because like you could sit there and talk for like a bunch, and then right at the end someone just puts like a comment or two and suddenly shoot to the top, so that makes it the wackiest race of all. But that's kind of fun. I think you guys seem to somewhat enjoy it, right? Yo, so let's pop on over to here. We'll get going with the day. If you guys have any questions, any stuff you want to bring up before we get going, bring it up. Let's talk about it here real quick. Let's see. Enjoy it here. Right. Yo. And then from here we can hit the top fans. So we can see, yeah, BGG is up here at number 1, 9 is number 2, point 3. So we have just started off the race. These 3 are in the races, and it is set to be one heck of an adventure. So, all right, well, let's get going with the day. Oh, look at this. Auditory, I think, is where we're going to start. Oh, no, we're going to get there. This is Point's app. So we actually will look at this. I'm getting this loaded up in the background. Okay, I think we're going to start here. AI cyber attacks go big for the first time. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this news. There's so much news-worthy stuff to read, and I don't want to flood you guys a ton with too much stuff, but I always grab the important stuff. We'll get into this really quick before we go in here. Point asks you guys liking WAN Animate, and we're definitely going to talk about WAN Animate today. I've been working on that the last few days. I've got a model manager that's going to be coming out for you probably today. So it's got its pluses and minuses, right? The minus is going to be not having a massive corporate business side VRAM, but very good stuff. So we'll talk about that too. BGG says he's got an awesome WAN 2.2 workflow. How can you send it to me? Hey, BGG, send it over to me on Discord, or if you have a way you can upload it to your GitHub, just put the link here in the chat, and then we can all share it as well. So appreciate that. Thank you very much. We'd love to see your WAN 2.2. We'll have to, actually, before we even get into the news stuff, we can actually talk about this really quick. The WAN 2.2 is so funny. We're getting to a point where there is such photorealistic stuff that's blowing my mind. See, I'm not necessarily an image and a video guy. I'm an app guy. Like, I want to do it all, right? And at the end of the day, I love chatbots, right? But of course, image and video is such a part of the ecosphere that it's like you have to be on it. And now I'm starting to watch people that are coming out with such photorealistic stuff. I'm feeling like I'm getting left behind. So I'm sitting here talking with my mods that are putting out stuff that just would blow your mind. And then I play with it, and it's like I get okay stuff, not great stuff. So I'm always open to a new WAN 2.2 workflow, because I think the key here is we're getting to a place where you've got to be using LoRa's. LoRa's, of course, are like, they're not an actual checkpoint. Okay, a checkpoint, right, is, of course, you have the model, and then someone says, okay, I'm going to fine-tune it and make the model really good at this one thing, okay, or a certain style. And then a LoRa is kind of like adding a hat to it. It's like the checkpoint is your whole clothes and how you're wearing, and then the LoRa is kind of like putting a hat on or sunglasses. And I really think to get the quality, high photorealistic stuff, you got to be using a lot of LoRa's these days. And that, of course, comes with particular workflows. There are different ones you can find. I don't grab every workflow because some of them are proprietary, or at least they're out there and someone's worked hard, and I don't want to just take their stuff. But I definitely am out there trying to look for the best workflows for you. With the WAN Animate, the WAN. I'm speaking like Nigel would be as English. Well, the WAN Animate. I'm speaking those soft A's. Got to speak like American. The WAN Animate, right? Workflows that I'm working on here. I'm trying to get the best for you, and so we're actually going to try to get out a video today on that. I'm really behind on videos. But anyways, I'm blathering. So let's move on with this. Let's read what everyone says here really quick. BGG's got the awesome WAN 2.2 workflow, so send that to us. Point says, I let it run for a night, just random vids, random references, like 5% were good. Yeah, see, that's the issue. I did the same thing with WAN Animate last night. I got the wrong model. I am telling you, do not use the BF16 model. You must use either the GGUF models or the FP8s for WAN Animate. I let it run. It took over 8 hours to get a video. I was like, who cares? And it wasn't very good. So not only is that a waste of time, it's a waste of your GPU, because that means your GPU is making heat and all that for 8 hours for nonsense. Not worth it, guys. Okay, BGG used light VX Lord stacked super smooth. Okay, BGG, would you please send us that link for that? Okay, would love to see it. Yeah, and Nige points out, posted on the Discord, so that's good. By the way, as you guys might know, Nige is one of our new moderators over on the Discord. Great guy. He's been hanging around. A lot of insight there, so go chat him up. All right, let's kick on back over to the browser here. And I don't really have a lot of opinions on this. I thought it was just kind of interesting. AI hacking tool exploits zero-day security vulnerabilities in minutes. A new AI tool built to help companies find and fix their own security weaknesses has been snatched up by cyber criminals. Turned on its head and used as a devastating hacking weapon. Okay, the framework is called HexStrike AI, so you guys can go play with it. Now, I have... don't play with it to do bad. Play with it just to see it if you're interested, right? You know, because all this stuff's kind of interesting. So it was supposed to be one of the good guys. It was supposed to be one of the good guys. It was supposed to be a white hat, and it's a wore black hat. Its creators described it as a revolutionary AI-powered offensive security framework, but it got turned around. It directs over 150 different specialized AI agents and security tools to test a company's defenses, find weaknesses like zero-day vulnerabilities, and report back. The problem? What makes the tool great for defenders also makes it attractive to attackers. Almost immediately after its release, chatter on the dark web lit up. Now, I do not suggest you go to the dark web. It's just... unless you know where you're going and what you want to do there, you're gonna get ganged up on in an alley, and you're gonna find your wallet gone and knocked out with, and wake up with lipstick on your neck. It's not a good place to go. And if you do know where you're going, you probably got. You don't need to be talking with me about it. So anyway, malicious actors were just discussing the tool. Okay, so anyway, the bottom line is I just put this out there just to show that AI is starting to hit the big time, the AI hacking. So we're getting into the AI wars here. We're going to have AI fighting AI here before long. If you want to go find the HexStrike AI. I did a search for it just to kind of look at it, because I'm like one of these like completists. I just want to see the stuff, and I'm not smart enough to ever figure this stuff out, or I'm not malicious enough to ever do anything with it. Too moral to, like, even if I knew how to use it, I'd feel guilty for using it. But you can take a look at it. And here's the thing: is there are some fake HexStrike AIs out there. So I got to assume that you're not just getting this off GitHub. I did read that there's a few fake ones going around. But anyway, all right, that's just news. That's kind of there. All right, let's move up here. Here's auditory real-time transcription and translation. This one went out free for all prairie dogs. This is Point's app, and I thought it was kind of cool. I think it's a groovy little app. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, so I'm having a problem with the installation at the moment. I've been doing some stuff on my system, but effectively, it is installed here. It's effectively. Let me uninstall it and reinstall it. Effectively, what this does is it allows you to speak through your microphone. I believe you can actually even plug in your background stuff, and it will translate it in real time, which is really cool. It also will translate, so you can sit there and actually ask it to, do a bunch of stuff and say, translate in French, translate into Spanish. And so we played around with that, and the transcription is Google Translate, so, it's not perfect, but it's enough. I had a Spanish lady here that I was showing it to, and she said the translations were good enough to understand, but it's like, she said it was translation Spanish. But still, very cool stuff. Great app. TTS is one of those, in my opinion, TTS is one of those AI things that is a good starter place. I remember starting AI back, I guess last year, February. And, it was really like September, the year before. But when I really started getting into having my own computer and doing stuff, TTS was one of the very first things I did. It's a very fulfilling avenue to get into with AI, because it's easy to do. You can actually do a lot of this on computers that don't have very high GPUs. And so, great place to start. Always a lot of good stuff going on with that. So I'm going to go ahead and reinstall this on my machine, and we'll come back to it, and I'll show you what the app looks like. But anyways, point for this. And yes, I did. Point's asking about this. did we install the web UI? And yeah, absolutely. The web UI is great. And he points out here that you can use LLMs, which I forgot. It was actually something very cool about this. You can actually transcribe it, and then you can actually connect it and ask the chatbot questions about it. So let's say we're sitting there and having a D&D game or something like that. And what you could do is with the D&D game, let's say you're transcribing everything that stuff happens, okay? And so it's actually getting what everyone's saying. Then I could actually hit to my Olama, it connects to my Olama on my machine, and I could say, summarize what's happened, or give me the best best reply as a, a Dark Knight, wizard, monk, chicken, duck would say. And it will actually look through everything and it will respond. So very cool the way that he put it in there. And 9S, why is it called auditory? I'm going to assume because it's a play on the word auditory. All right. So that is reinstalling in the background. We'll take a look at that. Okay, ByteDance is going to sell TikTok to a group of USA companies. So this is big AI news. It's so funny to me how people that do not like the current USA administration will go against anything. And so now TikTok and ByteDance, okay, so here's the nuance with this. ByteDance is a Chinese company, which means that they are beholden to the CPP. That's the Communist Party. That's how those systems work. Okay, so in America, if the government encroaches, we can sue the government. Okay, in China, you don't do that. The government encroaches, and on the far side of things, you get thrown out a window. Or you get your business taken down, or they take away the CEO and put a new at the government. Because government is all in all. So TikTok was owned by ByteDance, which is a very big company. Of course, a lot of the stuff that we do with AI is through ByteDance. So hey, great, ByteDance, you're awesome. Okay, hey, let me say, ByteDance, you do great stuff. Okay, however, they are beholden to the government there in China. Now, TikTok is owned by them, which means that it's been a security issue for the USA and for the West. Okay, TikTok gathers a lot of personal information. We don't know what the Chinese government does with that. There has been uses of the algorithm to put social contagions but bad stuff that is not allowed on in the Chinese TikTok is pushed forward on the U.S. TikTok. So there's a lot of possibilities for geopolitical issues with this. That being said, the U.S. Congress some time ago was actually starting to censor TikTok and say, let's get it out of here because it's a national security issue, which it is, okay? If you guys don't think that geopolitics are real, then I don't know what to say to you, because a lot of people just want to, I think a lot of times what happens if you're on side A and I'm on side B, and I say that there's something going on that is kind of nefarious with side A, then what this side does is they go, oh yeah, whatever you're saying is it's nonsense, that's not really happening, because they're kind of protecting themselves, right? And both sides can do it and whatever on whateverisms. But the point being, two things can be held at once. ByteDance can be a great company, okay? And at the same time, geopolitics can be a very real thing that takes place. And so we have to hold these two things in account. Now, here's the problem. I'm wrapping it all down to the bigger issue here. There's a lot of businesses that come out of TikTok. My business runs off of YouTube, okay? And off Patreon and this kind of stuff. And so I'm able to, keep my company afloat and to keep you guys entertained and working with your hobby through this. Same thing with TikTok. There's a lot of business that goes through TikTok. So if it just goes away, then businesses go away. So it's always been a thing of saying, how can we save the businesses while also saving the problem with this? So the president has negotiated a way that USA companies are going to build this, which means that they're should be firmly into the hands of the West, which means that the Chinese government should not be able to come in and do what they want with the information, and that's a good thing. Okay, we'll see what happens. Of course, everything is always kind of contingent on seeing things through. But it is always a surprise to me the amount of hatred that can happen just because this administration did it. I've always said they could cure cancer, and then people would be like, you know, how dare you take away my cancer? And so, you know, whatever. Use your own mind, decide if it's good or bad. I would love to hear your opinions on that. As far as I'm saying, it's a good thing. Let's get TikTok is kind of garbagey in my opinion, but like let's at least get it a little less garbage. Let's get it into a place where it can't be used as a weapon. Okay, now we've moved to IndexTTS Plus. This was the big one of the week. Okay, so very cool app. Let me see if I can get it to load up here. I obviously need to reboot my computer because I did a bunch of heavy generation and stuff's not quite loading. So let's do this. Let's pop over to here. Let's go do our content, and I'll show you what this looks like over here with the video. Okay, so I'm gonna give this just a second longer to see if this loads up. Like I said, I was playing with Comfy UI, trying to get this WAN Animate to go, and I'm my poor GPU. I had my tier for, but okay. Here, let's look a little bit at this. So this is basically IndexTTS is a voice cloner, and it's actually a very good voice cloner. So here's Joe Rogan.
Is to dive into the world of AI. Get Going Fast is hands down the best place to dive into the world of AI.
Okay, I figured out what's going on with the app thing. I've got, it's trying to use the same port as my Comfy UI. So let me just close down everything, rerun it. But while that's doing that, we'll go look at the video here really quick. See if I can get some of these examples for you.
Agreement shall be governed by and construed in accordance with the laws of the people, S. Republic of China.
Okay, that was Ben Shapiro.
6.2, in the event of any dispute arising out of.
So that was supposed to me, so you can see. You definitely do that. Let me go ahead and, this is my own voice. Let's see if this sounds like... Oh, this is me speaking Chinese. This is me speaking Chinese. Okay, we got this popped up, so we can actually just do this now. Okay, so this is the TTS software. Now, I made a plus version, which is very cool. You can just actually just throw a YouTube in here. This is actually really great. I want to make a video just on this, but you can throw the YouTube video directly in there. Let's say, actually, it will take it from here. Let's say we threw this in here. It will actually download this. It will show you a bar of the sound, so you can actually skip around to different parts in it, find the exact place you want, and then you can use that part. Because a lot of times when we're downloading stuff to clone, there's a bunch of stuff in the video that we don't want. So this way you can actually get the stuff that you do want in there. I've added down here, there's a history session, so as you're working with this, we'll actually keep track of the things that you've done. You can click on it, it will load it all back in. This is actually a really great app. I'm really excited about this app. But the main thing about this is that the cloning is quite good. And as BGG points out here, IndexTTS is incredible. So this is the Get Going Fast version. The normal version doesn't have the YouTube stuff. It doesn't have any of these spectrums. There, you can see the spectrums popped up. Of course, quick install, but I've also created a plus version. So we're going to actually, what we're going to install... Okay, so here you can see that it actually took it from 374 seconds to 382. It just randomly grabbed that. But you can go through here and find the section you want. And then you could just look over here, get the seconds, and put it here. But whenever you change this, notice I'll change this to 392. It's going to reload it straight back into over here. Quick install, but I've also created... Okay, and then I can synthesize it, and I'll just go, you guys are the very best. It brings a tear to my eye. I'd say it would bring a tear to my eye if I ever cried. Oh, okay, and then we can synthesize it off of that. Now again, with the plus version, it's actually going to, I've added some save, so it's going to save the voice that we just cloned. It's going to save the clip that we create, and as well, it's going to put it here under histories, so we can load it back.
You guys are the very best. It would bring a tear to my eye if I ever cried.
Favorite Creed. I must have spelled that wrong. No. That actually sounded pretty much like me, so you can actually see that's pretty good. And as it goes, it does fill up the session history, which is great because see now you've got multiple ones. So and notice down here, this actually changes. So it loads everything up. So go get this
You guys
for
are the
free.
very best. It would bring a tear to my eye if I ever cried.
So that's IndexTTS. Again, the normal version, you can watch the video, get it going, and you just don't have all this stuff. You have to save it yourself. Okay, enough patting myself on the back. Let's move on with the thing here. Bad news for those of us who want a robot. This is crap news. I don't want to hear this. When you read the fine print, humanoid robots are going absolutely nowhere. Okay, so it's only a matter of this anticipated. Okay, the bottom line is they're just saying that here there's still huge existential questions looming over the industry, and the bottom line is gonna be like, how do we keep it from hurting humans? How do we keep it from doing good stuff? Exemplifying the pie in the sky thinking is dominating the spaces that many are betting on advances in AI. Another tech watching outrageous promises and clouded by murky futures. So this is an opinion piece. I'm not going to take this as absolute truth, but we'll get to it. This can actually have some vagary of truth. Magically resulted in all-purpose robots. I think that what a lot of people are hoping for is they're going to get AI their way out of this. But the reality of the situation is that currently AI is not robust enough to meet the requirements. So if you guys remember back in, I mean, it's always like this. So whether it's Y2K and they're like, hey, it's going to be like this, and they get super hyper focused on something, or whether, you know, it's a video game and you're like, oh man, I remember when Fable first came out. Man, I aged myself here, but I remember when the very first Fable video game came out. They're like, it's going to have this and that, and you can be all, and you're like, whoa, and then it gets there and it's, of course, never going to be quite what it is. So what this article is saying is that that's what's happening with robots right now. We're being told, hey, it's going to do your dishes, it's going to, you know, do all this stuff, and it's coming soon. And this is saying it's not. In a video demo shared last week, Salesforce CEO Mark Benoit, accompanied by Musk, asked a Tesla Optimus bot for a Coke. The bot takes an awkward number of seconds before responding, cuts out mid-sentence, and then stands unresponsively while he repeatedly tells the robot to get going. When it does, it moves agonizingly slow, loudly clunking along like an oversized RC toy. Great. And then here it is. Reminder, there's supposed to be 5,000 of these ready to be shipped by the end of the year. Right, which is what I was hoping for. I'm like, I want an Optimus at the end of the year. But, yeah, so this thing's not ready. Another surprisingly pedestrian technology hurdle is battery life. So they're saying that they can run for 90 minutes while taking 9 minutes to fully recharge. Only 30 minutes of that time is usable because they have to save some of it to make sure it can get back to charging. So they're saying on the factory floor, that's just ridiculous. No one wants that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Point's over here talking. He's remembering Fable. Yeah, Fable was a great game. I've played all of them. I think like 2 or 3 times. I think they're coming out with a new Fable game. New. Yeah. Oh, here we go. 22.6. With a dark threat looming, your choices will change Albion forever. Dude, I've already changed Albion so many times. Like, let's see what it says over here real quick. Development of Fable began after the closure of Lionhead Studios in early 16. Okay, blah, blah. All right, well, I guess that's it. So we'll all be playing Fable here in a little bit. By the way, oh, does it say it got the axe? Point is saying that they canceled the new Fable. No, here it says, Craig Duncan announced that the launch of the game was moved to 2026, so we're still on board. Okay, game I'm waiting to play, just kind of, we've gotten a little off track here, but is the new Borderlands. Yo! So I'm waiting for my son to get on that. I've heard there's some problems with it, but anyway, probably in a couple months we'll be rocking some Borderlands. All right, so anyways, robots not ready to go into the homes yet. We'll see. Okay. Turns out AI has an honesty issue. Oh, dang it. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, whatever. This is kind of an interesting one. I think we'll end it here. So OpenAI tries to train AI not to deceive users, realizes instead teaching how to deceive them while covering its tracks. Now, obviously I don't like images like this because they strike up too much... you know, I don't know, they're hyperbolic, but whatever. I have always been very critical. I don't like these videos just like AI is becoming sentient and AI is doing it and all this stuff, because they just seem a little bit out there, like clickbaity. But, you know, my mind has been altering a bit, a lot as I think about this stuff, because here's the point, is that LLMs, chatbots, are just prediction models, and beyond prediction models, they're actually teaching it to do certain things. So we're getting beyond the prediction, we're getting into some reasoning, you know, things that are beyond just prediction. But the main thing that where I've started to change my mind a bit about the possibility for LLMs and nefarious stuff is realizing that even as a prediction model, it's predicting what a human would do. So it's only trained on human thought. And humans, as we know, are manipulative, they're Machiavellian, they're political, they're power hungry, they deceive. Now, obviously, you know, the argument always goes back and forth. Of course, humans can create beautiful things, and they can love, they can nurture a baby, you know, all this wonderful things, the capacity for love. But humans have an incredible capacity for evil. And so when you start talking with these LLMs, it's not that the chatbot itself would be evil, but it's emulating what a human would do. And a bad human would do bad things, you know, a human that was pressed into a certain situation. And so I'm starting to go down more this path of this actually could be an issue. And it's talking about it here. It says that they're trying to get these things to, here, where does it say here? So, okay, as detailed in here, engineers attempt to develop an anti-scheming technique to stop AI models from secretly breaking rules or unintentionally underperforming in tasks. Now, the reason that they point out here later on is because they're working on it, saying how to put one task in front of another task. Say, like, we've got two tasks, but this one's more important. And so what they're finding is that the chatbot will maybe lie about this one to achieve this one. So it may not be a serious problem now, but considering a hypothetical future, these risks could carry on more significant implications. So they could, I guess in a sense, you could be saying that it's creating its own morality. Now, I don't know if you guys have been watching the new Alien movies, Alien Earth. Very good stuff. I've been on a Alien binge lately. And one of the things about the robots and the synths, I'm going to make a point here, in all of these things, is that they're scary. You got David, you got all, you've got, what was this guy's name? All these guys. What makes them scary isn't the fact that they're androids, but the fact that they're beholden to a morality that's defined by a prime directive. So, in a sense, what happens is the corporation can say, this is the thing, the people are expendable, do this task at all things. And you see it with every one of these synthetics. And then now we're seeing it in Alien Earth, which, by the way, you should go watch. It's incredible. It shows up every Tuesday. Now you got like this chick, this Wendy over here, right? Oh, she don't like the name Wendy no more. But anyway, they have motives that are beyond human, and they're programmed in. They're locked in. So when we get over here to talking about this kind of stuff, it kind of parallels that, where it's saying, if you give the bot purpose A, but it also has purpose B, but yet purpose A is more important than purpose B, what they're finding is that sometimes the chatbot will lie or deceive about purpose B for this. So it's not that it's evil, it's not that it's even trying to deceive, it's being pragmatic. And that is the scary thing about all of the synths and aliens, that they're pragmatic to the point where you're expendable. Now, I'm not saying that OpenAI is doing this, but I am saying that that's what they're talking about here in this article. And I have never really worried too much about it, but it's starting to worry me a little bit. I'm starting to think about it because I trust humans to be humans. And that's another thing, if you go into the Alien franchise, is that all of the creations are flawed because they're created by flawed creatures. And so LLMs are just trained on our knowledge. They're trained on our morality. There are this. And then, so anyway, interesting article to think about. I would love to hear what you guys think about this. So I'm not going, I think Wes Roth is a guy that, I'm not going full Wes Roth here, but I am, I don't know. Well, interesting to see where this will all turn out. Okay, I think we're just about to the end of. Oh, we need to talk about WAN Animate here for a moment. I think that was the last thing I had posted, was the AI honesty hearing. Let's check out let's see the wacky races here real quick. Point has pushed to number 1. BGG's at number 2. And we've got 9 at number 3. So I know that there are more of you watching, but you're not all saying something. So you should pop in and say yo. Yeah, so Point here, just going back here just to the comments. Point says that the AI is going to teach each other with its own synth data. But even the synth data is still comes from it's a source issue. And the source is still human morality. So I've been thinking about this. If you could train AI completely on like a different species, like somehow you could come up with train it with I think in Doctor Who there was an alien called the Ood. Yeah, the Oods. I don't know if you guys remember these guys, but they're genetically bred to serve humans. Like, that's just what they look scary, but all they want to do is serve and be helpful. So if you could like train an AI only on Ood morality, you might actually turn out with a good AI. But all we have is a corpus of thousands of years of human stuff, and it's trained on Victorian books, it's trained on ancient Greek books, all these things showing humans deceiving humans and causing wars and stuff. So it is trained on human history. And that will be our difficulty with it. But okay, let's shoot on really quickly to WAN Animate, and then we'll wrap this up. Now, I have been playing with this for the last 40 hours or so because I really don't want to just give nonsense to you guys. Okay, looks like I'm going to have to load up Comfy UI again here, but let's go over to here, This is the Comfy UI workflow. So usually with these kind of things, what happens is you get two workflows that you want to look for. The actual Comfy UI blog workflow, and then the KeyJai workflow. The KeyJai usually is your, well, okay, you want your KeyJai workflow, and then you want your GGUF workflow, because the KeyJai stuff will usually work with your FP8 models, and then your GGUF stuff will work, of course, with your GGUF models. So this is the FP8 one that comes out, and effectively, it's, let me make sure I don't have anything bad here. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. This is not the fastest. Now, I've had this rip out in a minute or two, and then I've had it sit and take, you know, for frickin' ever. But the quality is not that great. Let me see if I can find something that's that I can show you. Okay, so like, yeah, like, so I'm gonna have to mute this video because I don't want to. I might have already, I might have already demonetized this video by that one bit of sound there. So hold on a second. Okay, so here we go. We took this original thing of someone had done Daredevil. No, I think this was actually real. A Deadpool ice skating. And then, of course, I took this image of this gal, and it does it, but notice it's not very good. It's not professional. There's no way I could really do anything with that. But it's still got it. Now, yeah, it's been honestly, it's been a frustrating workflow. I got some other ones on here. Okay, forgive me. I'm going to put something here that's a little bit pervy here. But this is someone doing yoga.
Shoulders, which I feel like these days.
And so I just want to see if we can get the position. Of course, you know, it says Reddit worthy. So you, and so it kind of does it. But again, it's just not that great. It's okay. It takes a long time, but there's got to be ways to do it. So I've looked at a few other workflows that add more LoRa's. Again, I'm thinking the problem is probably using the right LoRa's, which of course add more time. But I do want to show you the model over here is really important. Okay, so down here, notice it's using this WAN2 Animate 14B, or WAN Animate 14B FP8. This is very important. There is a BF16 version that you can get out there. Guys, you don't have the capacity to run it, okay? You need to run this FP8 version. This is the only version that you're going to be able to do anything with, all right? There's a GGUF workflow that I'm working on, but it's got weird custom nodes that I'm not able to get to work for some reason, so I'll play around a bit more with that. But I mean, this is basically it. I'm trying to see if I have any other examples here for you. Yeah, another one here is the same thing doing. Tried to put a Ronin sort of guy in here. And it's okay. But anyways, I will tell you about this. So I don't mean to discourage you guys. I'm sorry. It's good. It can do some good stuff. I don't see the quality that I'm seeing on Reddit, so I think that you have to have a really good machine. Maybe you got to run it on RunPod or something like that to get the really high quality stuff. Let's see what you guys have to say here really quick. Animate is easier, but Vase just looks better. BG, I back up my Comfy UI before installing new workflows and nodes, avoid catastrophe. That's a good thing to do. So anyway, I am working on this for you guys. Let me pop this up here really quick so you can see this. It is the model manager. And the model managers are always nice because that way, if it's good or bad, you don't have to spend a ton of time setting it up, because you can just get the stuff and get going. So let's load this up here and show you this really quick. Okay, so here we go. There's the model manager. So you can do your full install, and that's going to install your FP8. Notice I've got the GGUF versions in here, so you can add new diffusion models. You can choose the FP8s or the GGUFs, whichever you want on there. It'll set up your support models as you guys know this stuff. I mean, this is all because now I have added some more LoRa's to this. There's a bunch of, I was looking at different workflows that had these running. Okay, the lightning stuff is absolutely necessary with this stuff. But there are some different ones. You got like rank 64, and I think this is, this lightning goes for a different workflow. I just threw different LoRa's in that work with different workflows so that you can have it. Now, what I was going to say was this over here. You get this rank 64 one. There's a rank 128. I haven't seen any difference between using the two, so I just put the one. But you can. I think the key here is play around with it. I have added 3 different workflows on here for you that you can play with. The key thing with WAN Animate is it's not a. It would be really great if it was a head swapping app. One thing that I have not found is a great head swapping app. It is pretty much a whole character swapping app. Okay, so what's kind of cool, let me go over here. I'm going to do a video on this, but notice it pulls this video up, and then notice it's got these red dots and these green dots. It pulls this up, and then the green dots say basically the area that you're wanting to grab. And it will create, I don't want to click run right now because I don't want to screw everything up, but it will create a map over here where this guy is basically just a bunch of black blocks, and it fills it in. But what it fills it in with is whatever image you choose. So it's not going to keep the clothes of the original person, for instance. It's going to put the clothes of the video person you put in there. Now, I have seen a workflow that does something about masking just the head. I would love to see that. If I could just do a head swap, it'd be great. Okay, like if you could say just do that, but don't get the body. I don't know how to do that. I'm not good enough at Comfy UI. If you guys see a workflow that can do that, let me know. I'll give you credit for it. We'll put it up there. I'll promote you big time on that. But this basically would just put a new character in there, including the clothes. If you people have talked about face swapping it, guys. If you're gonna do face swap, just use rope, man. Like this is way overkill for your face swap. So yeah. So anyway, model manager will get you going with this. You can. This one actually works. You can get something going within just a couple minutes. Okay, let's end it up here. Let's go take a look at Nigel's video. We'll give you a little bit of heads up on that here. Video gen. What is it? It's the Curse of the Wishkeeper. So let's go ahead and load this up. And we'll give you a little
Wishkeeper.
This is Nigel stuff.
Wishkeeper. Your curse will save my dream.
I didn't know. I didn't take any. Please, let me go.
My wish is gold.
Meet Jennifer, an adventurer and mythbuster. Her latest case, The Curse of the Wishkeeper.
I just don't believe it. A wishing well that turns penny wishes into solid gold coins. Oh, really? Now then, according to my research, it's gotta be right here.
Wishkeeper.
Okay, so as you can see, Nigel's put a lot of time into this. This is really good stuff. I'm going to show you my favorite scene is this one. He talks. I mean, guys, this takes a long time. Like, I don't have the patience to make this. This is really good. Now, I want to show you my favorite scene. She goes over here to this old lady, and then you're going to see these hands move in. And I don't know. I just think that looks like a video game. It looks like, I don't know. It looks cool. So let's see it.
Pay your debt to save your soul.
I don't know why, but I really like those hands moving in there. I think that's great stuff. So, and he does at the end of it, not going to show you the rest, so you can go watch it on his channel over there, okay, at Planet Nigel. And in fact, I will, yeah, I've already got myself get personalized notifications. Shows everything that he used in this, okay? So the different sounds, the different softwares, okay? Multi-talk, so all of this stuff, I think, all of it maybe not rife. You can get off the get going fast page as well. This is mostly all open source. Talk to Nigel about it. So good job, Nigel. I applaud you on that. And I think with that, we'll draw to an end. And the Wacky Races point ends up in number 1. He gives the Boulder Mobile. BGG. You get to be the Creepy Coop, and Nige is the Converticar today. So, good job, guys. I appreciate you joining in here. Like I said, we'll get out some WAN Animate today. I'm going to try to get out more stuff, too. I've got so many videos that I need to get to. So, if you have an idea of stuff you'd like to hear or whatnot, then we will try to make that a priority. So, hopefully we can get a flood of videos going here soon. Okay, in the meanwhile, guys, be good. Be good to each other, and I don't know, what is it? Stand up and stretch every 45 minutes. Okay, God bless you guys. We will catch you later. And